confirming that you can all see that.
See it.
Wonderful. Well, hi everyone. My name is Annika Cardinali and I am a campus recruiter for EY here in Sydney. We are very excited to have just opened applications for our student programs as of Monday, the 21st of February, and we will close them on the 25th of March. Today, I will be introducing you to EY, our service lines, and our current student programs. And then after my introduction, I will be joined by a panel of EY representatives to answer any questions you may have. So I'm just also going to do an acknowledgement of country. So I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we meet today and pay my respects to their elders past and present and emerging. I extend that respect to Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander and Maori peoples here today. So who can tell me what EY is best known for? So if you could please jump into the chat and pop in your answers, that would be amazing. Yep, business consulting, audit consulting, accounting, tax, sustainability, great answer. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing these answers. But we are so much more than just numbers on the screen and more than just accounting, tax, consulting, etc. So we are living in uncertain times, but what hasn't changed is the uniquely human ability to offer insight and empathy while using technology to make an impact. And here is where you come in. So our people work with more than 200,000 clients in over 150 countries, including some of the world's most iconic brands and exciting entrepreneurs. As a global professional services firm, our offerings are growing every day to serve our diverse client needs, from startup entrepreneurs to multinationals, providing services including data analytics, climate change and sustainability services, and we even have a law and a health consulting practice. We are incredibly proud this year to have been awarded the Top Accounting Professional Services and Consulting Employer Award by Grad Connection. But what does this mean for you? So it means that working at EY gives you the chance to develop world-class cross-cultural skills and knowledge by working with people from different countries and different industries. You'll be part of an organisation that is able to think in a connected way across geographical boundaries and industry sectors. That's the secret to having a global mindset, something that we help all of our people to develop. We are redefining the traditional career experiences and developing transformative leaders. At EY, your experiences on our high performance teams will help you develop into a global professional that develops exceptional client service to every client every time. It is our ambition to deliver long-term value for clients, people, and society. But let's talk a little bit more about the EY purpose: building a better working world. So EY is a purpose-driven organisation. Our people are united by a single set of shared values, and it starts with a common purpose: building a better working world. We want to have a purpose beyond profit, and it's all about making a lasting impact, a legacy of positive change. There are lots of ways that EY is helping to build a better working world, from helping organisations set up JobKeeper to keep people employed, working with hospitals on their efficiency to make wait lists shorter, and assisting investors predict the return of investing in sustainable fuels. And with technology changing how we live and work, we are helping many businesses on their transformation journey to be future ready. So, like we discussed, some may think EY is still a traditional tax and audit organisation, but in reality, we are so much more than that. We are change agents, cyber gurus, performance improvers, problem solvers, data scientists, growth hackers, bot programmers, software builders, risk managers, and confidence builders. So we do organise our company into 5 main service lines, which are consulting, strategy and transactions, tax, people advisory services, and assurance. And if you would like to learn a little bit more about each service line, we have a lot of information on our student programs website. Now, I would just like to briefly talk to you about the different programs that you can take part in that are currently open for applications at the moment, depending on which year level you are and how far along you are in your degree. So currently we have 4 different programs open, and I'll start by explaining the Game Changers Club. So for this particular club, you need to be on track to graduate in 2023 or 2024. You will have the opportunity to network with business leaders and EY professionals. You will get to attend various events. So we have learning workshops and also social events. The membership is limited. So I would highly recommend, if this is a program that interests you, to jump onto our website and to submit your application. The Career Compass program is another program that we run in semester 2. So the applications will open for this program in July 2022. So most people apply in their first year, but you do need to be on track to graduate mid or late 2023. You will gain insight into professional services organisations. You will learn more about our service line and career opportunities. And this is also an early entry program. So you may also be able to interview for one of our vacationer positions the following year. The next is our vacationer program. So you will apply for this in your penultimate year of your degree. So for instance, we are currently taking applications for those who are graduating at the end of 2023. You'll receive training and development. You will work with real clients and shadow our senior staff. So there is no getting coffee or photocopying. You are put to work just like any other employee on real engagements. You also have the opportunity to secure your graduate role early. So you can go back to uni and focus on your studies in your last year of university. We do recruit the majority of our graduates through this program. And then lastly, we have our graduate program. So you will need to be on track to complete your studies by the end of 2022. You will also, of course, receive training and development. So postgraduate qualifications are available to some service lines, including your CA or Masters of Tax. You will also participate in the Buddy and Counsellor program. So every person will receive a buddy, which is someone who you can turn to and ask any questions. So for instance, on my first day, I rang my buddy and said, "What do I wear?" She had the answer for that. And your counsellor is your EY cheerleader. They are there to guide your career goals. They're there to answer any questions. They will also be providing you a lot of feedback and helping you progress your career through EY. So now that you've learned who we are and what we do, let's talk about whether we are a fit for you. So this is a snapshot of some of the degree backgrounds that we look for. However, this is not the extent of them. We currently, for instance, have a vision scientist and a biomedical science major who were recently hired into the tax graduate program. So if your degree is not on this list, it does not mean that EY will not look at your application. We absolutely will. In terms of helping you figure out which part of the business suits you, we do recommend that you have a closer look at our careers website, or you're more than welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn, and I would be more than happy to point you in the right direction. So this is the application process that EY has currently put in place for all of the programs that I have just mentioned. So the first step is to learn about us, learn about the company. Go and do your research, have a look at articles written about EY, about the team that you are looking to apply for. And then the second step is to apply. So submit your application your CV, your university transcript, and photo ID to our student careers page, which I will link into the chat at the end of this session. After that, you will receive an email to complete our first online assessment. So this particular assessment is all about technology and how technology is changing our world. You'll explore this with case studies and multiple choice questions. We'll identify your key strengths and the things that you're naturally good at. You will also be asked to take a numerical reasoning test. Once you have completed this assessment, you will receive personalised feedback on your strengths you displayed in the test and the ones that you can improve on. The second assessment, should you be successful in the first assessment, is a job simulation where you will use real work-based scenarios, and we explore different aspects of your potential role and how your individual strengths will fit here. So there are video responses and there is a short answer response as well. Now, once you have completed this, you may be invited to one of our recruitment days where you will undergo a group assessment and an interview. And then once you have completed the recruitment day, that is when we will give you the call regarding the outcome of your recruitment day. We do aim to have all of these completed within 5 working days. The last program I'd like to talk to you about is our Next Gen Women 2022 competition. So whatever direction your future career takes, getting exposure to transactions through the EY Next Gen Women competition is a fantastic way to kick off. The Next Gen Women program, previously known as the Corporate Finance Woman of the Year competition, was created to inspire the next generation of exceptional female talent to pursue an exciting and fulfilling career in corporate finance. We hope to foster a community where women from varying backgrounds can learn, be challenged, and develop relationships that will last a lifetime. So this competition is actually hosted in over 21 countries, has been put in place to recognise and develop exceptional young female talent. We will be looking for ambitious females completing their undergraduate degree between 2023 and 2025 with an interest in business and transactions. So we are not solely looking for students studying finance. Students with any degree background can enter. But why enter? So this competition is an exciting opportunity for talented female students to start making contacts with people who will drive their career forward, learn firsthand about the global career opportunities available at EY. You can also secure an internship at a world-class professional services organisation. And our overall winner will also progress to the global competition in September 2022, in addition to their prize internship in EY Strategy and Transactions, and also receive a mentoring session. So how do you enter? The competition is split into 3 stages. Throughout, we will be looking for evidence of creative and analytical strength, as well as the practical skills that will mark you out as one of the best. Applications opened on the 28th of February. So stage 1 is the regional competition. You will respond to 2 questions, demonstrating your understanding of the broader business environment, transactions, and building a better working world. One question will be a short answer with a 350-word limit, and then the other will be a video response of up to 90 seconds. Shortlisted regional finalists will attend the regional finals, which will be held in April, and this will involve a group-based study and an opportunity to hear from a network with EY Strategy and Transactions professionals. Stage 2 are the Oceania finals. These regional winners will be these regional winners will be taking place in a final in Sydney. This will consist of a full day of individual and group-based case studies and networking opportunities as well. And the Oceania winner will be announced that day. And then stage 3, the most exciting one, will be taking place in September 2022 in either Europe or the UK. So the winner will be receiving a free trip to Europe, which is super, super exciting. They will have the opportunity to network and share ideas with the EY strategy and transactions leaders and our people from all around the world. And then the last thing I just wanted to talk about is the eligibility for EY at the moment. We are accepting international students for our graduate program. However, please do go onto our website and just ensure that you do meet our eligibility criteria. This is the only exception to this is we are only able to accept citizens for our graduate roles in Canberra. Awesome. And does anyone have any questions regarding the student programs?
Thank you, Annika. Edward's asking, how strict is the penultimate year requirement? For example, is it possible to undertake a vacationer program prior to one's penultimate year?
Really good question. This is quite strict due to the fact that the vacationer program is an early entry program into the graduate program. So if you complete your vacationer program the year before you graduate, it means that you can go into your grad role the following year. So it will need to be in the penultimate year. Great question though.
Angus asks, what makes you more attractive than your competitors, such as KPMG or Deloitte?
Really good questions. And I'm actually going to save this one for the panel I'm about to introduce. Wonderful. Have we got everyone on the line? Chris, Caitlin? Shiny?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. So I'm just going to introduce the panel for today. We've got Caitlin Howe, Christopher Chen, and Shiny Zhang. Caitlin, would you like to kick it off and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So hi everyone, my name is Caitlin. I'm a graduate in previously a graduate, now I'm a consultant in our People Advisory Services practice in Sydney. So People Advisory Services was that little box that you may have seen that sits just outside of our regular service lines. We do a bit of tax and a bit of consulting. My particular team sits more in the consulting line of work, but essentially what we focus on is any of our clients' people agenda. So they might come to us with any issues regarding their people, and we jump in and help them out, whether that may be looking at how they can improve their company culture, whether it be doing a huge piece of change management, things along those lines.
Thank you so much. Chris, I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Annika. Hi, my name's Chris. I'm a senior consultant within our transaction strategy and execution team. So I've been with EY for about 3 years now, and actually came through the vacation program, then through the graduate program, and I've been here since. So I have to echo Annika's sentiment that a lot of these programs are fantastic to be a part of, and really gives you a bit of exposure as to what we do on a day-to-day basis, whether it's a good fit for you. So I'd highly encourage everyone on this call to apply for those programs, because they really are fantastic opportunities to get to know EY and the firm more broadly. In terms of what my team does, so we work in the M&A space, supporting clients from both the buy and sell side. So from a buy side, really supporting clients to understand what is the value that this particular target business might provide to the client, and helping them assess what are the costs that are associated with purchasing the business, as well as potential synergies. And then conversely, on the sell side, thinking about how do we actually separate out a business, what are the costs associated with that, and all the operating model elements that we would have to consider. So that's just a little bit of a snippet as to what my team covers. But back over to you.
Awesome. Shani, are you good to go?
Sure. So hey everyone, my name is Shani. So I currently working as a consultant within tech consulting practice and within the tech transformation team. So in terms, maybe a little bit about my team. So just ensure we actually, the work we do is help clients to connect technology and also with the strategy together. Because in Australia, a lot of organizations, they still operate in a quite traditional way. So we will just help them to transform their business by utilizing ICT and technology. So specifically, we help them to do digital strategy, just sort of design what they should do the future in the next few years. And also we help them to do the technology project delivery as well. So in terms of that, there's a lot of space we work on, for example, solution architecture, and also we do a lot of reporting transformation as well. Yeah, so I've been with EY for 1 year now. So next week is my 1 year anniversary. So I've been very grateful to work with EY because I feel like I'm learning and growing every day. And also the people and the team are fantastic. Yeah, so that's a little bit about myself and also my team.
Thank you so much. And I might kick off with the question from Angus. What do you guys believe sets us apart from our competitors? And I know Chris and Caitlin and Shani, I believe you all began as within the student program, so I'd love to hear it from that perspective.
Absolutely, I'm happy to kick it off. So my journey with EY has actually started at the very first student program that is offered, which is that Game Changers Club. And I was only in my second year of my 4-year degree at the time. So this is 2018, I think we're talking now. From that very moment, I was very drawn to the fact that EY have just such a fantastic culture. Everyone is so down to earth. Everyone is really open to hearing your ideas. There is a very flat structure at EY. So we sit in open plan desk areas. We hot desk. I could be sitting right next to a partner and there is just no boundary in that respect, which I find really great. And I also really value the significant learning and development opportunities that EY offers. So even in my first year, I've been able to undertake quite a lot of learning external to the engagements that I'm on with my clients. So I think that's one of our main draw cards. Happy to pass it over to Christopher and Shani to add in their opinions.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Caitlin. And can really echo both those sentiments in terms of the culture at EY, as well as the learning opportunities you're provided here, even at the junior ranks, really to go in front of the client and have those experiences. I think the two additional points I would add on, one for me is really as a global firm, EY is particularly unique in how we work cross-border. I think one of the examples, working on a project recently, we had colleagues over in the UK, which we reached out to for some support in our project, and it almost felt seamless like they were in Australia because, straight after we sent that email, we were able to receive a whole bunch of benchmarks that we were looking for. And I think that seamlessness really is across the firm. And so connected to that is also the secondment opportunities which EY offers. So as a global firm, we have the opportunity to apply for programs across the globe. So personally for me, I'm looking at doing a secondment to the US, and that process has been really seamless so far. So I think that's one other point. I think the second thing is really EY's reputation in the market. I know in the M&A space, EY has been the #1 accounting leader, accounting advisor in the M&A space for about 8 years running now, which is quite a phenomenal achievement. So that's amazing to see. And I think, when you read the AFI and you see all the deals which are happening right now, and some of the largest ones, proud to say that our team has worked on a number of those deals. So I think really our reputation in the market is fantastic as well. I might pass over to Shani.
Thanks, Chris. I can't agree more. So just adding on those points, I think first of all, I really like EY, the value transformation a lot, especially under this kind of challenging environment like COVID, everything's happening. You really need to respond very fast. And we help clients to do that, not only in technology space, not only within tech transformation, but also within tax and also people at advisory in the past, and a lot of different area we do transformation for client as well. So I believe it's definitely trending, and also would be a very, very buzz in the maybe next 10 years or so. And secondly, I really like EY because I think the people are great. You know, before I interviewed EY, so I have a few chat with my friends. They all work at EY, and they tell me the people here are fantastic. You know, although work can be stressful sometimes, as long as you have a good team, it will make your life much easier. Yeah, so I think that would be the two main things for me to why EY is a bit different than other competitors. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you so much. And before I take it to the students, I'd just love to hear about your opinion on what makes like the ideal candidate for a graduate and a vacationer. I'll put you on the spot, guys.
So I think for graduates and vacationers, it's really expressing an interest in the particular team you're wanting to join. Being able to really articulate how the skills and experiences you've had through your degree or extra to your degree might be able to assist the team, and just express that real passion to learn. I think no one expects you to come in knowing everything, and I certainly have been doing some significant learning to just get up to speed with what I need to know to perform my role well. But there is such a willingness of senior people in the teams to teach. So if you express that interest in wanting to learn, express a real interest in the work that the team you're interested in is doing, I think that is just one of the best attributes you can bring to your application as a graduate or a vacationer.
I think for me, if you have to ask me what one key quality I would look for in a graduate or vacationer, it would really be curiosity. I think curiosity for me means, one, a willingness to ask questions and to learn. I think at EY, one of the things we do really encourage is asking better questions. And I think that really is a value that we embody in our day-to-day work. And we expect, you know, everyone from juniors through to partners to ask questions, to ask the client questions even, and just to be really curious and to understand not just how we're doing certain things, but also why we're doing certain things. So I think curiosity is definitely a major quality, a really key quality to have as a vacationer or a graduate.
Thanks, Chris. I think for me, one thing on my top list is growth mindset. Because as Kathleen said, like no one really expect you to know everything, but it's important that you would like to learn, and also you expect yourself to learn in the future. Especially like no matter which kind of industry you are, I think especially, you know, in consulting, we sort of dive into a lot of different industry. Sometimes maybe you don't really know, you have no idea what's that about, like before you actually learn that. I think it's very important you have a willingness to go and learn. It's okay if you didn't do it well at the beginning, but it's important that you put yourself out there and tell yourself, okay, you can do it in the future. It's totally fine. So I think I would say growth mindset is on my top list.
Really great answers. And as one of the recruiters, these are all qualities that we look for within the candidates applying at EY across all service lines. I'm just going to quickly answer Chimney's question about whether there are opportunities for postgraduate students as well. There absolutely are. For example, we recently had a vacationer who was offered a graduate role, and she's studying her PhD. So 100% absolutely fine. Would anyone like to come off mute or put a question in the chat for any of our panelists, or for a question for all three of them?
Thanks, Annika. I've got one I just want to highlight in chat from Sagar real quick.
Yep.
Now they're finishing their degree mid next year, and I'm wondering if they can still apply for the vacationer program.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, that's no problem.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I think that takes care of then what's in chat so far, because you've answered the postgraduate question. So yeah, feel free to open it up to the floor now to students.
Wonderful. And I can see Chelsea's got her hand up.
Yes, hi Annika, and hi to our panel as well. Really good answers so far, and I loved the answer on the growth mindset, because that was especially something that I'm a bit like nervous about, like how like going into a job or going into a graduate program, just like not really knowing anything, and then that kind of hindering you to go or apply for that. So thank you for those answers. They were really helpful. So I'm in my second year of my degree in software engineering, and I'm first like trying to like manage learning engineering as well, because I don't really have much experience in that from high school. But then also having to balance networking as well, as that is like a big thing. So like do you have any tips or advice on how to like effectively and practically network with people like in uni, and like how to kind of like build those good relationships, like, and even online as well, especially with like COVID. I think that a lot of things have moved online. But yeah, so how could we effectively network?
Would any of you like to answer, Caitlin?
I think LinkedIn is going to be your best friend. If there's any particular role, whether it be at EY or one of our competitors, whether it be in any field, don't be afraid to reach out to people on LinkedIn. It's more common than you think that you'd get a message in LinkedIn saying, hey, I'm really interested in what your role is. I would love to chat. And people love to have a chat about what they do for work. So don't be afraid to reach out, and also keep track of all of the different places you're interested in applying to. There's so many events that are on. I know the EY calendar for the next couple of months is booked with different events, meeting different teams. There's representatives from the business attending all those events, and that is the easiest way to network with people. I know I met one of the managers in my team back in my first year of uni, at an EY event, managed to stay in contact with her, and that's how I've ended up in the team I'm in. I really enjoyed the sort of work she was talking about, and that's how I sort of got to where I am today. So really take advantage of any opportunity that you see, of any networking events that might be online, in person, and take advantage of LinkedIn. It's going to be one of your best tools to keep connected.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We got a question from, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. I just because I think it's a really good question. I think it's such a big topic in terms of networking. Adding to that point, I would suggest, like, if you still at a uni, I think it's the best way. The other best way to help you networking is to join a lot of different programs, projects, or case competition, because people know you through the things you actually done. So they actually know which kind of person you are through interaction. So I think those kind of connection can also sort of present yourself, and you always have something to talk about, have a go together. For example, one of my vocational buddy, actually met him at uni 1 year ago, but somehow I became his buddy at EY again. So I feel like those kind of connections are very interesting and also kind of last long as well. So I think adding to that point, that's my suggestion on that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Those are very helpful points. Thank you.
We also do have the Game Changers Club, the Career Compass program, and our Next Gen Women competition. And all three have lots of opportunities to network with both your peers and our EY representatives.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for that. I had one more question in chat for clarification. I'll just read it out. Will students need to be, this is for postgraduates, will students need to be on track to finish by the end of 2023 to be eligible to apply, or as long as they have finished their undergraduate degree, they are fine to apply in terms of, I guess, postgraduate student opportunities?
Great question. It is referring to your most recent degree.
Okay, thanks for that. We had a question from Christy, who's wondering if she can undertake the vacationer program with the legal team. She's had a look at the website, but couldn't see it as an option currently.
Really good. I'm really glad to see that you were so proactive at looking at our website. Not every single team offers this program. However, please connect with me on LinkedIn and we can discuss further offline. I'll just have to triple check if they're offering the vacationer program. I don't actually look after tax, so I can easily find out.
Thanks for that. Samhit is asking if you could highlight more on the fields of sustainability and urban planning within EY, if that's something you're across at all.
Absolutely. Chris, do you mind chatting about IA? If not, that's so fun, I can. Infrastructure advisory.
So is this coming off mute?
Yeah, so fine.
So I think within EY, there's actually a team which looks specifically after sustainability and urban planning, which I think was in question, which is a key CCAS team. I won't lie, I'm not too familiar with what the scope of that team does, but I do know there is a team specifically looking after sustainability. Within our strategy and transactions division, we also have what we call the infrastructure advisory team, which helps to look after large-scale infrastructure projects, particularly with government clients. And so you can think of that as urban planning in terms of how do we fund, for example, if we want to build a highway, or recent projects they've done include the metro as well. So those elements really definitely touch on urban planning, and that's what the team does on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you. And the CCAS team that Chris mentioned is under the assurance service line. Yeah, awesome. Does anyone else have any questions?
Just had another one pop in. This one's from Alex for you. In addition to Christy's question, whoops, sorry, screen just jumped. Would that be the same from the cybersecurity side? We have had some EY speakers related from the cybersecurity team, and would love to be able to do a vacationer program with that team.
Yeah, awesome. I do believe that they are open for vacationers, so please have a look at our student website, student programs website. And again, if you can't find it, please connect with me on LinkedIn. Wonderful. I have a quick question for the panel. What would a day-to-day, a day look like for you, and how does EY support your work-life balance?
So to echo what Chris was talking about before, EY truly is a global firm. So I actually work on a New Zealand-based client, even though I'm living in Sydney. So it does mean I'm up a little bit earlier in the morning to make calls just because they're about 2 hours ahead, which does mean I get to log off at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is quite nice. It gives me my afternoons and evenings to really relax. We've also got some really great policies around extended leave. Our CEO at the end of last year gave us some extra days off. We had at the beginning of November and October a day off just to relax and recharge. So I think that work-life balance and that flexible work arrangement is something that's really encouraged and made available at EY. So there is really the opportunity to work wherever, whenever you want, which I think is just fantastic.
I think those are some fantastic points, Caitlin. Definitely echo all of those. I think the addition from my point of view is on individual projects that you work on, one of the things that managers on my team always do is actually to sit down and think about what are the goals for the project, but also talk about commitments that you have. So we'll talk about, on Tuesday night, I play OzTag, or on Thursday night, I have, date night with my partner, for example. All those things are taken into consideration. And so that's one of the things that we do on the ground. Every project we have, we think about what are some of our non-negotiables, what are nights where the team can expect someone else in the team not to be around. So I think that's also something that we do to help work-life balance.
I think the other thing, based on my experience, what I observed is it was actually pretty result orientated. So as long as you deliver the quality work, it doesn't really matter like what kind of hours you work on, because sometimes people might just a morning person, sometimes many people probably just a night owl. Yeah, so I think as long as you deliver good work, it's totally fine. And also the people in the team are super supportive as well. Especially, you know, a lot of colleagues from my team, they are parents. So sometimes at 4 p.m. they will say, oh, sorry, I need to go to pick my daughter, my son, and I will be away for another hour, but I will back to work in the next hour. So I think the team support is important too. Yeah, so I would say these two things, it's really helped me to work or at my own pace, but also help the team to grow and achieve what we want. Yeah.
I can definitely reiterate that. I am 100% a morning person and will often start work voluntarily at the disgust of my colleagues at 6:30 a.m. because that's when I work best, and then I get to log off a little bit earlier, and it really, really helps my work-life balance.
We had a couple more questions in chat come in if you like. These are more on students for postgraduate studies or prior work experience. First question was just to, I guess, clarify for postgraduate media and marketing students, I guess, what opportunities would you suggest for them to apply toward? And Hiba, if you want to unmute yourself and further add information to that question, feel free.
Absolutely. Would any of you guys like to take this question, or I'm happy to answer? No worries. So like we said before, we accept a huge range of degrees, but what we look for mostly is your motivation for wanting to apply to that particular team. We actually collect a motivational response for your first and second preference for your application. And what we look for is the students who have done their research and clearly explained why EY and that particular team, why you are motivated to apply for that. So please have a look at our website. We have huge, lots of information on each particular team, and try and have a think about where your skills would align with most. And once again, if you have any questions or have any struggles, please don't hesitate to connect with me on LinkedIn. I receive questions from students every single day, so that is no problem at all.
Thanks for that. I had another question from a student that worked at a commercial bank as a loan officer for 5 years and completed their master's degree in professional accounting. They're wondering if you had any advice on which department they should apply for. They're fine to start with in an entry-level position.
Chris, I might hand this one to you if that's okay, and just talk about the options in SAT. Oh, so sorry, you're on mute.
No, I keep doing that.
The mantra of 2022.
That's it. I think that's a fantastic question. I think it sounds like you have a fantastic background and a lot of experience that you can bring to EY. In terms of which department, within strategy and transactions, we actually have an FSO division which focuses on financial services clients. So having worked at a bank, I think you bring a lot of relevant financial services experience if that's something you'd be interested in considering. But there are a lot of options within strategy and transactions throughout the transaction lifecycle. So whether M&A is something you'd be interested in, or it's strategy, or what we talked about before in terms of infrastructure advisory or real estate, those are definitely options that you can consider. So I really just encourage you to read up on all the different divisions which EY has and what you think might align best to your interests. But we definitely have quite a wealth of teams and services that we offer at EY. So definitely just encourage you to have a look through and what might suit you best.
Wonderful. And Shiny, any suggestions from consulting point of view for an accounting, professional accountant?
Yeah, so from consulting point of view, I think the first thing it's important is what do you want to do? You know, because consulting is such we have a lot of stuff can fit in diverse background. For me, actually, I personally from law background and also law, commerce, and business ethics. So I do take a consulting at this moment. Is because I want to do that and they're very interesting to do that. So I think the first thing I would suggest maybe think about like what you interested in doing. Actually, if you you still would like to continue your accounting journey, I would say business consulting definitely could be one of the area you consider in. I'm not quite sure which specific sub-line, but I would suggest maybe have a look at business consulting. Like I would say, like if you still want to keep doing, I would say business transformation maybe, and also financial advisory would be one part as well. So I would suggest like it really depends on which kind of skill set you would like to develop. But if you want to apply for consulting, definitely there's a health sub-specialty you can consider. Yeah.
And Caitlin, just from a PAS perspective.
From a PAS perspective, I would definitely say if you're interested in more of that accounting side, just any of our roles within potentially our mobility practice, which is really looking at taxation and how people's different tax rates for global roles operate. Outside of PAS though, we've also got our assurance practice, which I think would be probably a really good fit. Even within assurance, we have two large sub-service lines of FSO assurance and core assurance. So FSO is going to be clients that are purely in that financial services sort of sector. Core would be anything outside of that. So even within assurance and accounting, you could go down the route of I want to purely look at financial clients, or I want to maybe do something a little bit different to finance if that's the journey you want to take.
Great. We got a question for you, Christopher, from a student. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What are some of your goals, aspirations, and projects you're working on? Not to put you on the spot or anything.
That's a great question. Perhaps one I haven't even thought of myself in terms of where I see myself in 5 years. I guess from a career perspective, and maybe not in 5 years, but in a little bit more of a immediate term horizon, I think one of the things that I did mention before was going on to secondment. I think with EY, you do get a great opportunity to explore EY globally. And one of the things I'm looking to do is to work overseas, hopefully in the US, but I know there's offices in the UK and a whole range of offices across the world. So that's probably one thing, working overseas and getting that overseas experience. I think the second thing is really just continuing to build my own skills as a consultant. I think EY and the team I'm in currently really offers great opportunities for you to stretch yourself. So 3 years ago, I'd be absolutely nervous presenting in front of the client, trying to advise them on, should you buy this business or not? But over the course of 3 years, I think I've really, built up a lot of confidence to be able to not only talk to clients, but actually know that I'm offering them valuable advice. And so I guess in the next couple of years, hopefully really honing in on that skill and working and learning from my colleagues to get there. So there's probably two higher level goals. On the question around what projects I'm working on at the moment. So one of the projects I'm working on at the moment is what we call a buy-side due diligence. So our client is a real estate investment company, which is looking to acquire another real estate investment company. And so we're really just helping them to understand what's the operating model of the target business that they're looking to acquire, what's the operating cost base, how does the organization actually work, and then for our client to think about what does that mean to them in terms of trying to integrate that business and for them to become one whole united business, and the costs associated with that. And the third element is just looking at synergies, how can we bring together the two organizations, and what are potential revenue and cost synergies that we might be able to realize. So sorry for the bit of a spiel there, but hopefully that covers the question.
And Chris, if someone was looking to apply for your team, what would they be looking for within the application form?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question.
I think it's under your subservice line, just to help them out if they're looking for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So my specific team is the transaction strategy and execution team. And in terms of things I would include in the application, really just showing your passion, whether that's doing a bit of research yourself and trying to understand what the team does or what the market looks like. I think those are things which are really helpful for your application.
Awesome. And how about you, Shani, if someone was to apply for your team, what was, do you want to just let us know what you would be looking for in the application and your team's name and such?
Yeah, so my subservice line is called tech transformation. So because we are there, so in our space, we help clients to do a lot of transformative movement. So I'm not sure if you guys are quite familiar with this buzzword, but there's something called Agile. Yeah, so if people are interested in applying for tech transformation, so I would suggest maybe do a little bit of research in terms of Agile. And also Scrum Master, it would be helpful. Yeah, because we do need a little bit kind of a bit sort of knowledge base, but not much. Just I suggest you guys, if you can have a look about that. And secondly, I would think they're interested in tech space, but also business space as well, because we do in the middle. We don't do something very techy, but we also advise clients in terms of the tech strategy side. So I think that's would be the two things. Yeah, just based on my past experience and also my observation, I think, yeah.
Awesome. And Caitlin, same question for you.
Yes, so my specific team is the performance and talent team in People Advisory Services. Our team is really looking for any sort of qualification. So as Annika mentioned earlier, we actually had a PhD candidate who was a vacationer in our team very recently. So she was studying a PhD in psychology. We have a lot of lawyers in our team. We've got accountants. I myself am from a commerce and science background. So we're really looking for any sort of degree with an interest in supporting people agendas. In terms of applications, we're really just looking for people that have shown an interest in the sort of work we do. So the best piece of advice I can offer is to find someone in the team you're interested in applying for, have a really good chat to them, either on LinkedIn or if you can arrange a coffee, and get a real deep insight into what the team is about. Because ultimately, once you get past the initial application process, it's people from the team you're applying for that interview you. So being able to share that relatability and have a really in-depth understanding of what the team you're applying for and interviewing for does really sets you apart from any other candidate.
Awesome, thank you so much. And Tyree, I think we're almost at time. So I just wanted to thank everyone for listening to us at EY, and thank you so much to our panelists. You three are incredible, and I was super lucky to hear you speak because I learned something every single time. We are all on LinkedIn, and you're welcome to connect with any of us. Please let us know. Please refer any recruitment specific questions to myself, because I will definitely be able to answer those. Wonderful, and I'll pass it back to Tyree. Thank you guys, I really appreciate your time.
Thank you everyone from EY team. Annika, if you would allow me to briefly share my screen, I'll just do my last few slides. Thanks again, everyone. Thank you for that. Thank you as well, students, for attending. Just wrapping up the presentation for today. So This presentation was coordinated by the Careers and Student Employment Service. For those of you that are not as familiar with us, hopefully all of you are. Now that you know more about what EY has to offer, you can check out their graduate program and other programs and job opportunities on Employability Connect, which is how many of you registered for today's workshop. You can also look at other resume advice and interview advice. You can request for a one-on-one consultation, and you can also have access to our other online resources. You can also look at the Student Employment Program, which is a free service to assist you with getting paid work, either for current students or recent graduates. You can also have a look at PACE, which is our work integrated learning program, where I believe EY also has a few units they work within PACE for experience. You can connect with our Macquarie University Careers and Student Employment Service LinkedIn group, as well as, of course, connect with Annika and the rest of the EY team. If you have any other questions, feel free to email us careers@mq.edu.au. You can also join our new Facebook group we have online as well through the link here. The Employability Connect group is what the title is there. And then finally, we have other events going on this week as a part of Careers and Employability Week. Now, the location is subject to change, as in some events that were on campus may go virtual, so you just may want to check Employability Connect or email us if you're not sure. But we have some events coming up on tomorrow and Friday as well. I'll make sure, like I said, of Zoom and in person, but subject to change. So if you're not sure, please reach out to us and let us know if you're having trouble or getting conflicting messages on when events are and when they're held. Thanks again so much, students, for your time. I will stop the recording, and best of luck to you all that are applying for EY for this recruitment season or for the future. Take care.